years, but why are we talking about them today, Cornelia?
Well, supposedly, when Dina brought up the story, she was like, bed bugs are just now coming back, and I was like, girl, bed bugs been back.
Yeah.
So bed bugs
just
went
a story
away,
about
were
it again.
a thing for a while, went away for a long period of time, but it seems like over the last 5 to 7 years.
Cornelia is not bothered
Over
by
the last
She's like
5 to 7 years, they made a resurgence in major metropolitan areas. That's the first focus, and then they're starting to branch out into rural areas. Now the problem is a lot of companies and a lot of like products that are geared towards bugs and infestations aren't equipped to handle bed bugs because they're so new again, and it's becoming a thing where bed bugs are low key becoming immune to pesticides. Yeah, so now let's have a discussion. And I lived in New York for 5 years, 2005 to 2010. Everywhere you turned in New York where there could be advertisements on the subway and on the street, there were advertisements about watching out for bed bugs.
Yeah.
Bed bugs ripped through New York City. You could sit on the train, get on the train, go to work, get off, you got bed bugs, girl. They were everywhere. So when I saw this, I was like, oh girl, bed bugs been a thing. Even when I go to a hotel room, now, every time I go to the hotel, I sit my bag down on something. Then I immediately go to the corner of the bed, pull the sheet off, and check the seams to
I don't do that.
make sure there's no bed bugs.
Because you came from the New York side of things where you know. I don't do that, and now I'm like,
just check.
And we are hopping in the beds of these
just getting all in the bed,
rooms.
girl. Because the thing about bed bugs, if you have them on one piece of furniture, they can go. They can go from furniture to furniture.
But
so
they derive from a bed?
No, they get brought in,
that's
right?
No, they can get brought in. You can bring them in the house just on your person,
so
on your clothes. But that's just the title of. I don't know the root of the definition.
Right,
they burrow
into
the
fabric, skin and all everything in the sweat, everything that everyone's building up in a mattress over the course of time.
It could be a brand new mattress. Bed bugs
is
not about them. It's not about the mattress being old. You can get a brand new mattress, and if you bring a bed bug in, they're going to bite you at night, get your blood. They take your blood, walk away, and that's how they digest it. They don't latch on like a tick. But girl, bed bugs are out here, and they could be on your suitcase. They could be on your couch, your chairs,
you look for specifically?
Dressers.
Why do you
look
go
at the
to
corners?
the corner?
That's where they live.
Because they live in seams. So if you check for bed bugs, they mainly populate, and I wrote this down, congregate in mattresses and bed frames, headboards, dressers, and behind wallpaper or clutter. In the seams is where they like to hang out, especially on mattresses.
So my question is, are you guys people who go to a hotel? Do you bring your own pillow? Do you look through the sheets? Are you somebody who would be vocal about it? Would you call the front desk or get the heck out of that room and be like, there's something different about the sheets?
Yeah.
I haven't really been that way. I do have a family member, though, who if the sheets aren't perfectly clean and it looks like there might be a stain, they call and get put in a different room. They're like, not even.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just kind of like,
because nothing's happened. It's all good until it's not, right? It's like until you get bit by one. Yeah, I get a little creeped out. Growing up military, we traveled a lot cross country, did a couple of those road trips. We would always stay at the La Quintas. That was always our thing. I look back now, why La Quintas? We must have had some
they were the thing. That was the thing back then. Yeah.
So we'd go through, from Fort Rucker, Alabama to Southern California, and we'd stop along the way at all of these hotels. Sometimes we'd have our dog Shadow, sometimes we wouldn't. And we would always stop and stay at hotels. And to me, it's like, oh, it's a cool thing. I think back to those days of traveling and be with my little family of 4. So when I go to hotels now, it's still like this sense of excitement for me. Like, oh, it's cool. We're somewhere new. We're somewhere different. I don't even think to check the seams. I have never in my life even know what to look for because, again, it's all gravy until it's not.
Until it's not.
I do lift up the sheet. I get kind of grossed out with the comforter thing because I've been told in the past they do wash the sheets. This is an honor system. They do wash the sheets, but they do not wash the comforter. So something my mom taught me not. I don't ever remember her telling me, but just something she always did.
Fold it.
Yeah, you just fold it back, and it's at the foot of the bed.
Yeah.
And so you just have the sheet. We never brought our own pillows. We never brought our own blankets. Maybe in the car for the long trips, but we kept everything inside.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they have become a bigger issue over the years, but ew.
So that's what a bed bug
Ew.
looks like. It's like a flat, round little
About
critter.
the size of a quarter.
No, it's not
No,
that
smaller.
big. He's little.
Way smaller.
Like they're little.
They're like tiny little. They look like little gnats.
like a dot.
Yeah.
It's like a dot, but
I would definitely, if
again,
I were to see him today, yes, now, absolutely. I would stomp my little feet down there and say, excuse me, change my room. But then I'd just be super paranoid.
I mean, but you got to do what you got to do. At one point, I was watching Shark Tank a couple of years ago, and one lady had pitched a great product, and I don't know where it is now. It did get picked up by one of the sharks. It was a little bed bug device where it can detect if bed bugs are on the thing that you put it on. So if you put it on the bed and leave it for like 5 minutes, there's like a meter that shows, yes, there's bed bugs, yes, there's sign of bed bugs, and no, there isn't. And it was because, again, in cities like New York and LA and Chicago, where there's a lot of traffic, a lot of in and out, a lot of travel, a lot of ways to get around, they travel very quickly.
And we've done a lot of stories in the past when we had like the Super Bowl in San Francisco and when there's NBA games in Dallas and there's big championships. Inside Edition will always go and do something where they look through the hotels to see how clean or not they are.
Yeah.
And bed bugs continue to be an issue in a lot of the major cities, and they spread quickly. So
And here's
check your beds.
And speaking
Check
of
your beds.
in NBA, Kyrie last year sat out a game because they stayed at a hotel, the Cavaliers, and he got bit up by bed bugs.
And here's the thing, not everyone, what I'm reading from a little bit of research here, not everyone has a reaction to bed bug bites. So just because you in your own, say your own home, don't have any red marks or bites doesn't mean that you do not have an infestation. So I'm reading that an allergic reaction to bed bug bites could increase swelling or cause hives near the surrounding area, mostly from excessive scratching. Not all people react to bed bug bites. Some people are bitten without ever forming any sort of red bumps on their skin. This does not mean you do not have a bed bug infestation.
Can I read you guys this comment? Because it's going to probably freak you out. Okay, Shay Wiley Bonet, potentially.
Ooh, pretty name.
I hope I said that right,
Hey,
Shay.
Shay.
Okay, so Shay says, my boys just moved to Anaheim and brand new beds and bedding. They got bit terribly. Found out the bed bugs were in the carpet before they moved in.
Oh, yes.
Has been a nightmare. They got out of the lease. They're moving next week. They've had everything treated and continue to self-treat. It's awful.
Yes.
Kimberly Morgan says that she always inspects the mattress, has been for years. I'm actually
was
itching.
itching.
I feel like I have lice
Yeah,
right
I just said like this. It's same thing. My cousin and her boyfriend just bought a home together. And they got it for a really great deal in Orange County, which is hard to come by. Southern California real estate, we all know, even Northern California real estate. So they get this place, great deal, because it was so poorly taken care of.
Oh.
And so they go inside, and there were fleas.
Oh.
There were, I'm sure, bed bugs. This just reminds me of the other kind of critters that were inside of their home. But they said they knew this before purchasing, which is why they got such a great deal. But oh, no problem. We'll just go in there and clean it all up. We're going to demo the place. Well, after they start hitting the walls down, all of that, these fleas are just coming out. My cousin the next day has had all of these bites.
Nope.
And she's like, we're gonna have to completely like tear this place down and basically rebuild. At that point, you've already purchased the home.
Right.
No.
You have to have some professionals come in and do some serious
And all
exterminating.
of that. Yeah, so they did have an exterminator at this point. But
A lot of places, and just a heads up for you, if you are planning on moving into a home, because we recently moved out of our home and into a different one, we were looking at homes, and a lot of people will bargain with you and say, hey, if you're willing to keep this a short lease, no contingencies, or a short transition, no contingencies, and you want to move in right away, we could give you some perks. And oftentimes, they will give you a carpet cleaning replacement fee back to you. So they'll give you some sort of a deposit to say, go ahead and do the carpets. You can actually ask the homeowner you're buying the house from to replace carpets for you. And so that is a way to get out of moving into a place where there could be things living in the carpet. See if you can bargain with potential homeowners that you're buying from to rip the carpet out and get it replaced.
that's
They
so
can hide
important.
behind wallpaper, dressers.
that's what it was. Their house looked fine until they started. Oh my God.
They can hide in anything that's pretty much fabric based. So sometimes when the infestation happens, you got to throw that stuff out. You got to throw your brand new mattress out. You got to throw
And is
your
an
couch out. You
exterminator
can get it
enough?
treated, but
Is
Okay,
exterminating,
Kimberly says,
fumigating
please
a place
stop
enough?
with the itchy conversation.
sorry.
I feel you, Kimberly.
Sorry, girl.
I feel you.
Okay, shall we move on?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Let's move on to our elder.